Yes! Natapos ko rin ang aking mga assignments. Pwede na siguro kami mag-movie marathon ng mga kaklase ko. Sige na nga, sasali na ako sa kanila. Okay, join. Let's go.
Hello guys!
Hello.
Ano want nyo panoorin for today's video?
Tara na tayo na explain.
Ay sige, balita akong maganda raw yan.
Sige, wait. Hanapin ko lang.
Uy, alam nyo ba ang nababalita yung tungkol sa dollar exchange?
Oo nga, ang taas na ng dollar exchange ngayon. Paano kaya ito makakaapekto sa Pilipinas?
At panigurado lalo tayong mahihirapan kasi tataas ang presyo ng bilihin pati rin syempre yung pag-import ng mga products galing ibang bansa at maging ang pag-export rin ng products natin.
Ay, trivia lang guys. Alam nyo ba may tinatawag na protectionism?
Ha? Ano yun?
Well, ang protectionism kasi is simply refers to government policies that restrict international trade to help domestic industries. And it usually implemented with the goal na mas mapa-improve ang economic activity within a domestic economy. Hindi lang yun, but it also can be implemented for safety or quality concerns ng isang bansa and its economy and trading. And therein, our country, the Philippines, protectionism policies implemented by our government to give safety in terms of economy by restricting the international trade so that all of our producers here in our country can have a profit.
Oo, tama. Actually, we have two forms of trade protection under the protectionism type of economy. It is the quota and tariff. The first one is quota. Ano nga bang quota? Well, according to definition, quota is the government-imposed trade restriction that limits the number or monetary value of goods that a country can import or export during a particular period of time. Ang ibig sabihin lang naman ito, yung quota, ito yung bilang na parte o kung ilan lang na parte o dami ng produkto ang pwede nating i-import at i-export sa ibang bansa. For example, alam niyo ba, during the surge of African swine fever here in the Philippines, it impacts the hog section. Due to that, we increase the quota volume and the tariff become lower than the original 30% in quota or the imports and 40% out quota or the export rates. And it raised the minimum access volume or the tariff rate quota of pork from 54,210 MT to 254,210 MT. We can see from this that the quota can be differ in terms of economic crisis. It can be lower or higher. It depends on particular time period. And in this example, it raised the minimum access volume ng pork, meaning tinaasin natin yung quota o dami ng pork na galing sa ibang bansa na i-import dito sa Pilipinas na may mababang tariff just to overcome the shortage because of the swine fever. And even though this is about imports, quota actually helps in increasing the domestic production sa pamamagitan naman ng pag-impose ng quota on specific products to reduce imports and it will restrict foreign competition. Gaya ng example ko kanina, we raise the quota for the pork imports kasi we have swine fever. But if we don't have that, we can lower the quota of imports kasi marami naman tayong pork sources here in the Philippines. And it is said that quota is more effective than tariff. It is because if we impose a low quota on a specific foreign products, their supply will be limited and without much choices, syempre we will be forced to buy and consume our own local products. Pero hindi lang naman ito nililimit yung imports but also the exports that limits the chances for our domestic products to grow and be known to other countries. But one thing for sure, this form of trade protection has its own advantages to create short-term gains but at the cost of more substantial long-term gains, as this will stop the innovation and will hinder us to discover much cheaper and quality products and will disrupt the international trade. So yeah, that's the quota.
Okay. Ang sumunod na uri under ng protectionism ay ang tariff. So what is tariff nga ba? Ang tariff is a tax imposed by one country on the goods and services imported from another country to influence it, raise revenues, or protect competitive advantages. Sa madaling salita, ang tariff o taripa sa Tagalog ay pinapataas ito ang presyo ng imported goods at serbisyo sa ibang bansa, making them less attractive sa mga domestic consumers. Kumbaga, karagdagan halaga sa presyo ng orihinal nito kapag nag-i-import ng mga goods at services sa ibang bansa. At it is important to realize that a tariff impacts the exporting countries since consumers there can avoid some importing due to the tariff's higher price. The tax has, however, essentially increased the cost to consumer in another country if the consumer choose to purchase the imported goods. Pero ano ba muna ang proseso ng tariffs? Ang tariffs function to divert buyers' intents and funds away from the nation exporting the good by adding a fee to an import. Trading partners use them to advance national objectives, interests, safeguard domestic industries and consumers, and politically sway a partner. Tariffs are implemented by governments to increase revenue, safeguard native industries, or gain political sway over other nations. Tariffs frequently have unintended consequences such as raising consumer prices. Furthermore, the debate over whether tariffs represent good or poor policy has a long acronymous onus. Ang advantage ng tariff ay each side can use tariffs to help them create economic policies and communicate with trading partners. As previously mentioned, tariffs gives a government chance to increase revenues, can stabilize a market, and make prices predictable. They can ensure that domestic product receives tar receives preference with a nation. Then sa kabilang banda naman no, ang ang disadvantage ng tariff is that they can lead disputes between governments. Ang tariffs used to punish or deter behavior they find objectionable. Unfortunately, doing so might exacerbate already existing issues by raising tensions and can create conflict between countries. Tariffs o ang taripa, hindi palaging negatibo ang resulta kung ano man ang napapakita o binabalita sa telebisyon. Bagkus nagkakaroon ito ng pagkakataon na magkaroon ng negosasyon ng bawat kasosyo o trading partners, eka nga. At patatagin pa ito sa ang merkado ng ibang bansa.
Pero teka, bakit ba na-implementa ang protectionism sa Pilipinas?
Well, it is implemented kasi we're in the third world country or the developing country, ika nga. And our government believed that following the strategy of the first world country, who is in the top or the richer countries to us, is para makasabay tayo sa globalisasyon at tulad ng definition ng protectionism, it is created to protect or favor domestic industries over foreign commercial interests. Itong protectionism na to, it protects us and our imports and export and the international trade and also our government subsidies as well.
Pero nakakabuti ba yung protectionism sa ating bansa?
Well, I think it can be both help or not. Helpful siya in a way na nakakatulong siya sa atin because it help us to be able to gain more investments from the other countries that will help us to boost our economy as well as it can protect our international trades, product standards, and also our government subsidies. While on the other hand, hindi siya helpful kasi tulad nga sa sinabi kanina, protectionism is only good for the first world country. Why? Kasi yung mga country na yon is voluntary exchange for the better lifestyle lang. How can I say naman na hindi siya nakakabuti sa Pilipinas? Well then, hindi siya nakakabuti kasi yung Pilipinas, under siya ng developing country. And the trade barriers or the quota tariffs or tarifa will just decrease the developing country's ability to export, which is it also lowers the import capacity and investment sa isang bansa, na instead umangat yung mga developing countries is lalo lang sila bumabaon pababa, and yung mga mayayaman na kanta or the first world country will just go higher and magiging mas richer sila and more powerful. And this is what a disadvantage of globalization nga, di ba? Which is the unequal distribution of development, if I'm not mistaken.
Ano naman connect ng protectionism sa dollar rate na pinag-usapan natin kanina? At paano naman ito makaka-apekto sa protectionism sa Pilipinas?
Well, kasi sa panahon ngayon, hindi ba't higit na tumataas yung dollars sa pesos, na siyang paglakas ng US dollars ay siya naman paghina ng piso. Like, the peso itself got a new record dollar rate in this year, which is range around 56 to 58 pesos. And this is very alarming, lalo na sa trading ng ating bansa. Like, di ba kasi, since we're included to the developing country, katulad ng sabi ko kanina, kaya mas nahihirapan tayo makisabay sa agos ng globalisasyon, maging sa pagtaas ng dollar rate na siyang lalo nagpapahirap sa atin. Bakit? Kasabay kasi ng pagtaas nito yung pagtaas din ng presyo ng bilihin, and also the tariffs itself or the quotas, which is a form of protectionism na siyang na-discuss ni Bea and Pat kanina.
Okay. Gets.
So, additional pala, no, mayroong policy ang Pilipinas which is about protectionism, and it is a trade policy reform of 1980s to 2000, wherein kung saan ang liberasadong bansa and ang trade industry sa pamamagitan ng pagbawas ng tariff rates at pagtanggal ng import restriction. So, meron din tayong tinatawag na Philippine-Japan. For example, may tinatawag tayong Philippine-Japan Economic Partnership Agreement kung saan ang Pilipinas at Japan ay nag-agree and they signed this last 2008. And this is the only bilateral free trade agreement na nag-cover ng trade in goods, trade in services, investment, movement of natural person, intellectual properties, custom procedure, improvement of business, environment, and government procurement. So much for that. I guess that's all lang. So, yeah, may naintindihan ka ba, girl?
Yes guys, oo. Unti-unti ko na siya nagigets ngayon. Bali yung protectionism pala na sinasabi nyo, isa pala itong hakbang o strategy ng gobyerno upang maprotektahan ang mismong economy nito laban sa worldwide competitions at upang makinabang ang mismong mga mamamayan sa kita ng loob ng bansa. At dahil dito, magkakaroon rin ng maraming job opportunities dahil sa mismong bansa nakasalalay ang pag-unlad nito. Malaki rin pala ang dulot ng import at export sa ating bansa dahil sa sinabi nyo rin kanina nang dahil sa protectionism, nagkaroon tayo ng tinatawag na trade protection at ito na ngayon, yung quota at tariff. Yung goal pala ni quota, nagsisilbi itong limiter sa mga imports na pumapasok sa ating bansa upang hindi magkaroon ng mga imbalances sa market. At sa kabilang dako naman, ang tariff pala ay isang tax o patong sa presyo sa mga imports na products. Nang dahil rin sa tariff na ito, kumikita ang isang bansa dahil sa mga patong na presyo. Ngunit, na-realize ko guys ngayon lang yung protectionism strategy ay isang short-term advantage lamang. Bakit? Kung isipin natin kung walang magiging competition o walang competition na magaganap, tataas lamang yung mga presyo ng produkto. Ngunit walang mapapansing pagbabago sa mga kantidad nito. Diba? Dahil alam naman natin, di ba, na kadalasan sa ibang bansa o sa labas ng bansa, sila yung naghahatid ng mga makabagong kagamitan o produkto na malaki ang dulot sa pagbabago ng ating bansa. Diba? Ang pag-unlad ng isang bansa under protectionism, masasabi ko na hindi natin matitiyak yung pag-unlad nito dahil parehas itong may mga advantages at disadvantages.
That's great! Nagets mo na yung protectionism and hanap ko na rin yung series na Explain. So tara, panoorin na natin kasi may 3 season pa tayong tatapusin.
Oy guys, thank you very much sa pag-i-explain Kahit pa paano marami tayong natutunan sa araw na ito. Pero huwag nating kakalimutan, may series na pala tayong papanoorin. Ayan, anong oras na, napahaba usapan natin. Ayan, kaya Bea, i-share screen mo na yan. In 3, 2, 1, let's go!